What is new, LTQ Wrestling crew? We are back with a Monday Night Raw video, and Raw was early. I'm happy about it. Kind of a preference for me to have it early sometimes. I ain't gonna lie. I enjoyed watching the show early. I get to watch my Bulls game later tonight, so it worked out. So John Cena kicks off Monday Night Raw. He has the same entrance music. He has the same attire. There were rumors going around that maybe WWE's changing up his look and his entrance music. That was not the case. This crowd was hot from the moment he came out there. Great crowd tonight. Not American crowds are always great. You can have your opinions on why that is, but this crowd was spectacular. There's Let's Go Cena. Cena sucks chants when he's in the ring. There's boos. And he starts off by saying, when someone is properly grounded in life, they shouldn't have to look outside for approval. Very strong line right there. He says, for 25 years, I have been the victim of an abusive relationship, talking about him and the fans. Nothing was ever good enough from, him for the fans. It started off good when he came back on this retirement tour, but then there was complaints like he wasn't around enough and all this other stuff. And says all the fans did was bully him into being a puppet with a smile on his face. F.U. Cena fans, or F.U. Cena fans, the fans started chanting F.U. Cena throughout. They're loud. Netflix had to start bleeping them out because I don't even think they expected that. And he says he's not a baby face. He's not a heel. He is a human being. And that was quite a line, too, because WWE don't usually reference baby faces and heels, but with Cena, they're doing that. They even reference during a promo or like a promo segment for the show. Like, Cena's a heel or not a heel, and he says he's just a human being. And, he says when he first got in the business, he wasn't really over. The fans hated him, and they wanted him out of here, so he had to change to try to impress the fans, and it worked. And he said all he did was win and win and win and win and win. And he really said win this many times because Cena did win a lot in his prime. And he says the fans hated him for it. And he says retirement tour started off good, but nothing is ever enough from him. He did for the fans and just got nothing in return. And I ain't gonna lie, a lot of Cena's points there are valid. Like Cena carried this company on his back for 25 years. And, I was one of them fans. I got tired of seeing Cena winning. I ain't gonna lie. It was a lot. I mean, when Cena was in his prime and just constantly winning and just, always beating everybody, it just got old. And that's with every top guy in WWE or top woman. Like, they make them overpowered to a point where sometimes you get tired of them. And I think a lot of fans got tired of Cena. But as Cena went away for a while and he became part-time and he wasn't really around as much and he started taking a less expanded role with the company and started doing Hollywood and movies more, we started appreciating how much Cena meant to WWE and how much he really meant to the company as a whole when it came to merch sales, to company sales, to company success, to kids, to the Make-A-Wish stuff. And there are those fans who are still hating on Cena, who aren't satisfied with anything he does. They just hate and hate and hate. And he says, what have the fans ever done for him? And they showed a kid in the crowd who looked like he was about to cry because Cena pointed directly at him and said something to him. I can't remember exactly what that was, but the kid was just like, looked like he was about to start crying. He's going to be shown on Twitter a lot. I already saw like mad accounts already posting about him. And he says, all you do is take and only care about yourselves. What you have earned is nothing. Your time is finally up, and my time is now. He says he keeps his themes on. That's his theme. He sings the music. And he says, not one of you sons of bitches asked me how I was doing. It was always, what am I going to get from this retirement tour? What am I going to see? What am I going to do? It's always about the fans. It's never about Cena. Nobody asked him how he felt about this being his final year in the wrestling business. He says, he says, the fans wear hustle, loyalty, and respect. He lives by that every single day and represents it. And he says, I am breaking up with all of you. I don't need you anymore. I don't care about you anymore. You don't matter to me. And strong words from Cena. He absolutely went crazy. I still refer to him as a heel. I know he's saying he's not a heel or babyface, but he's a heel. And he had a very valid point throughout this whole promo. I mean, he was not really saying anything that was outlandish or didn't make sense. I mean, a lot of the fans do turn on Cena. A lot of fans didn't really appreciate Cena. It's never enough. So I think it's very valid, everything he said. Cody comes out. The crowd was chanting, we want Cody before that. Cena was responding like, "Oh yeah, Cody, the new shiny toy that you guys had, that you guys are gonna do the same thing you did to me to him and all that stuff." And Cody comes out and says the fans have given you a lot of good and bad moments throughout the year, but you've earned all of them. You were special. You could carry it. You could have that on your shoulders. And he says, "Who the hell are you? This isn't the John Cena I wanted to face at WrestleMania that's on your shirt." And he ends by saying, "This Cena better not show up at WrestleMania because if he does, I'm going to retire him early. Go find John Cena, not this whiny bitch." And Cody walks off, and that's the end of it. And they're going to meet face to face next week. Can't wait for that. And Cena's still in the ring. He does a microphone drop, and the crowd sings the na 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 hey 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 goodbye to John Cena. And he walks away. Spectacular segment right here. Didn't disappoint. A plus all around. This feud is going to absolutely cook going into WrestleMania, and I can't wait for it. I have to say though, I know Cena's an actor and everything, but you know he had to feel weird going out there and not doing his Stu stuff and this and running and everything. Like he was just serious all throughout, and it was probably weird for him to do that. So credit to him for pulling this off, and he did very well here. Cena never disappoints on the mic. I know there's fans who are already commenting like, "Oh, Cena didn't say anything back to Cody like that." They're trying to save Cody from getting cooked by Cena and all that. Both these guys can cook on the mic. That ain't gonna be a problem. We'll have to see what this leads after this. So right after this, we had Penta against Ludwig Kaiser, a no holds barred match. Good match. Really not too much like amazing things happen, but Penta did a Mexican destroyer off the top rope onto a chair, and then he hit the Penta driver right after for the pin. 1, 2, 3. And I loved how they did this because in AEW, I see this a lot where they'll hit a big spot and then pin and then they'll kick out. And it's like sometimes you can do a spot like Penta did. He did a Mexican destroyer on the chair. You don't have to pin him right after that. Hit a finisher, and boom, that's the match. You don't have to make the move meaningless. And Ludwig Kaiser sold it because we saw Styles clashes on thumbtacks and everything else, and Kyle Fletcher's getting right up from like stuff like that drives me nuts with AEW. But I mean, I thought this was a very good match, and Penta's now going after the Intercontinental Championship, and we'll have to see when Phoenix shows up. But I can't wait to see it. So we'll have to see. We had Dakota Kai against Ivy Nile, and I think the Cena and Cody segment went on a little bit too long because a lot of these matches got cut short, especially these next two matches. But Dakota Kai gets the win. Not a very long match. The Creed brothers are outside the ring. They get assaulted by Dragon Lee and Ray, and then Chad Gable was out there as well. So we had a contract signing between Io Sky and Bianca Belair. Not really much happened towards the beginning. They both signed the contract, and Rhea Ripley comes out to a huge pop. Her and Belair get into it again. Io Sky gets pushed to the side, and then Rhea Ripley takes out them both. She does a power bomb on the Belair, where she hits Io Sky with the power bomb on the Belair to the table. The table doesn't break. I don't know if it's supposed to. And Rhea signs the contract herself, so we're definitely getting a triple threat. Figured that was going to happen. They've definitely been setting that up. Other than that, not much else to say about that segment. They did get into a brawl backstage later on. This next match, again, I don't know if it was timing issues, but man, Jey Uso against Austin Theory. Jey Uso pretty much squashed Austin Theory, and man, I'm a huge Austin Theory guy. I think he's got a lot of talent. I just think his booking's kind of not really done him a lot of justice. And to see him get squashed here is very upsetting. I mean, it's hard to have much hope for Austin Theory under the Triple H era. I don't know if Triple H just don't see a lot in him or what, but it's just been tough. But a squash for Jey Uso. Gunther attacks him from behind again. This time Jey gets some offense. He tears the title off around Gunther's waist, has the title, and that's how the segment ends. This feud's been very meh for me so far, and this is just another week in the really just bad buildup. I mean, this feud and Tiffany and Charlotte have not had great buildups at all. Hopefully that gets better in the next 33 days, but I don't know about that. We had the Creed brothers against Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee, the LWO. Solid match. LWO gets the win. They get attacked by the random luchador that is Chad Gable, they think. After the match, he takes them both out, runs away from security, and that's all they wrote for that. Seth Rollins comes out and does a promo. He's talking about how Roman Reigns screwed him last week. He could have taken CM Punk out for good, but now, just like the good old days, he has to clean up Roman Reigns' messes. And he's talking about how They both will be at SmackDown on Friday night, and he will join both of them. The crowd boos. They want to see them both here tonight. Rollins said, yeah, I want him and both of them here tonight as well, but it's not going to happen. And Rollins walks away with the crowd singing his entrance music. This crowd loved Seth Rollins singing his entrance music before he got out there or did his promo. After, they were red hot. Now, main event, Braun Breaker against Finn Balor for the Intercontinental title. Great back and forth match. Went about 15 minutes. Braun ends up retaining. Carlito and Dom came out there. They tried to get involved. They're definitely teasing a breakup between Finn Balor. Maybe Finn gets away from Judgment Day and they get a new member like Malachi Black, possibly. We'll have to see what happens there. But Finn's on the top rope with Braun. Carlito distracts the ref. Dom pulls Breaker off the rope. Breaker ends up hitting the rope and Finn falls down. He looks at Dom like, what the hell are you doing, man? And then Braun hits the Frankensteiner and hits the spear a little bit after he takes out Dom and Carlito, and that's the win. 1, 2, 3. They start beating down Braun after the match. Penta comes out. He stares down Braun Breaker after they take out the Judgment Day. And looks like that's going to be possibly something we get at WrestleMania. Maybe a multi-person match. We'll have to see. But I'm looking forward to seeing Braun Breaker against Penta. Neither one of them guys have took a loss in a while, so that's going to be interesting to see who they have win that. Overall, was it the most exciting Raw of all time? No, but it has some good moments. If you guys choose to watch it, I would suggest watching the first segment, the Penta and Ludwig Kaiser match, and the Braun Breaker and Finn match. Everything else you could really skip over. It wasn't really much else to talk about. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Make sure to like and subscribe for more LTQ Wrestling Crew content. Peace.